Well, hello, you talented stars and starlets. I am your host, Chantele Francis, with my amazing co host, Ariel. How are you doing today, Ariel?
I'm doing so well. So happy to be here. How are you?
Great. We are on week 2, episode 2 of our Reframe series. And you'd asked me, what do you think we should work on this week? And I
Mhm.
gave you a few options, but you felt as though the imposter syndrome was something that we might want to focus on today. So, why did you
Mhm.
feel as though that would be an important issue to tackle?
Well, I was thinking about that. So at first it was just kind of an impulse, and I was like, well, this one is something I don't talk about a lot. But the more and more I thought about it, I feel like it's kind of it's a common thing that we all go through in different avenues of our life. But then I also felt like in my own life, I guess this is selfish, but in my own life, I didn't even realize that I was having an imposter syndrome kind of condition. It was just a way of being. So it's something that goes way back. And I think kind of just put myself down here and everybody up here, and that was just how I was. So I just wanted to talk about that and share, and I'm sure other people have been through the exact same, or maybe don't even have awareness around it. So I thought it would be something important, no matter what you do. If you're a performer, or if you're an entrepreneur, or if whatever you do in the world, I'm sure it shows up in some way in some relationship. So yeah.
Absolutely. So, if you haven't guessed it, our close up focus today is the imposter syndrome. And I have to agree that I do feel that it's a really important topic to talk about because like you said, everybody in all different avenues of their life and careers are going to be facing the
Mhm.
imposter syndrome at some point. If they're
Mhm.
ever trying to do better or be better than they were yesterday or achieve something, it's this little voice that comes in that kind of thwarts you from the greatness that you are hoping to achieve or that deep down is possible for you, but there's just something that gets in the way of
Mhm.
allowing you to really step into your greatness. So I'm so happy and excited to talk about the imposter syndrome. So let's clear the lens a little bit on hypnotherapy, the imposter syndrome, and how it kind of all weaves together.
Mhm. Well, so when we're doing clearing the lens, we're talking about how we can debunk some of you know, the misconceptions, the common stories that maybe are shared or in community or in personal. Um, And let me just think. I mean, it feels like the more you think about it, the more and more it's in everything. It
Mhm.
seems like a cultural kind of thing, at least in our culture. What do you think?
So when I think about hypnotherapy and all the chatter that goes with it. So there's a lot of people that have preconceived ideas of what it is. They adapt their thoughts around it, around film, television, books, any sort form of art form that uses it in a way to just to advance story and not actually use it in its truthful way. And I think that some of those thoughts and ideas are very similar to the imposter syndrome, where it's like you're being these voices that are not your own are not allowing you to know the truth of a situation. So I
Mhm.
kind of feel like they're paralleled to a certain extent. So with hypnotherapy and hypnosis, people think this, and this, and it's not true at all when you get to the truth and the heart of the matter. When you really know that how natural and normal hypnotherapy is or hypnosis is, that you go in and out of that state
Mhm.
every day. When you wake up, you go through hypnosis. When
Mhm.
you right before you go to bed, you're in a state similar to hypnosis, and so it's so natural, and but it's still being influenced by the culture, the
Yeah.
community. And so if I look at, sorry, go ahead.
The myth. you know?
Exactly. And so if I look at that in comparison with the imposter syndrome, like it is actually a very natural state because pretty much I would say everybody has a experience it in their lifetime, and it's
Mm,
being influenced by things in your external world. So I do feel like they have a similarity, and I also feel that the route to maybe healing or unblocking or shifting the imposter syndrome, you could do that through hypnosis. So that's kind of how I feel like it's merged together.
absolutely. And then in doing a process in hypnosis, you could, get to if you were to do perhaps like a regression, you could go back to one of the first times that you ever felt that you weren't equal, or or one of the times later where it happened once again and you were re-injured. So there's so much that hypnotherapy can do in order to kind of reshape and reframe these myths, these beliefs.
Now, is there anything else around hypnotherapy or hypnosis that you might want to just debunk a little bit for anybody that might be hesitant to using hypnosis to heal or unblock that or just heal that imposter syndrome? Just heal it. We just want to heal it.
Yeah, absolutely. Uh,
Overcome, heal.
well, yeah, let me think. I think that if we're going on a parallel, I think that when we're in hypnosis, there is a misconception that the hypnotherapist is all powerful and anything that they say you will do, and you will go and rob a bank or whatever, cluck like a chicken, that classic thing. And the truth is that no, you are in control. You're actually in a more focused or hyper focused and more aware state, but you are still relaxed. So you still have the conscious mind, but you're in control. So I feel like that is a parallel. Oh, did I lose Chantele? I feel like that, I'll just keep going. I feel like it is a parallel in terms of, we do have two conversations going on, or maybe more. Some people have more at any given moment. And being able to just listen to the truth of the voice that's actually the one that supports you, not the one that sabotages you, that maybe you think or have thought that was helping you. And perhaps maybe at one point in your life it did help, but no longer serves anymore. So, yeah. So we lost Chantele. Let's see if I can just get her back.
Well, I just my computer just completely turned off, so I'm not sure exactly what happened there. And I thought that Ariel might have stayed, but I guess not. So I will just continue along. I'll message her and let her know.
Hi.
Hi, the computer just turned off completely. So, uh, so where did you leave off to? Leave
Where did
off
I?
at? Yes,
Yeah,
it's still recording.
just talking about the parallel and the similarities in the process of when you're in hypnosis. A common misconception is that your mind will be overtaken by your hypnotherapist and they will be able to make you do something against your own will. And that's definitely not the case at all. You still have access to that conscious mind. You're still able to say yes or no to suggestions. You're able to open your eyes. You're very, very much conscious. Yes, you are more relaxed and you can feel less inhibited. But the whole point is that you are in control the whole time. So, drawing the parallel in your life, so in your day-to-day, we always do have, two voices that we can choose, or two paths, or some people have, I was saying, some people may have more paths, but you always have the choice to listen to the voice that supports you. And perhaps the imposter syndrome voice, or the one that tells you that you weren't good enough, or that you are less than, perhaps that served a purpose, or you know, your subconscious at some point thought that that was the safer way to go. But eventually, as we grow into our lives, into our careers, those thoughts no longer serve us. So that's why using hypnosis or any theta work is so powerful in just rewiring those old beliefs and up leveling.
Another parallel I wanted to draw as well was the fact that they both kind of stem from fear, right? And so a lot of people, if they have any hesitancy around using hypnosis or what they understand of hypnosis, it's like they're afraid that they're going to have their mind overtaken, or that they're going to do something that's going to be embarrassing, or, you know, all the things that we've mentioned already. And so far from the truth, but it makes them fearful of doing this. And same with the imposter syndrome. It puts fear as the in your way to prevent you from really allowing yourself to excel and to do something. So that's another way I do feel as though they're kind of similar, but I think it's pretty amazing that we can go through the fear of hypnosis, remove that, and then you can actually really unblock this imposter syndrome and just discover who you really are and who you really can be. So very exciting. So we're both actors. Sorry, go ahead.
I said it is very exciting.
So we're both actors, and I did want to show how common it is for other actors to experience the imposter syndrome. So we did mention that in all, you know, different types of work and careers, this may come up, but we know that it comes up with actors. So I do want to share number one on the call sheet to kind of put us and anybody watching who is an actor in kind of the same world as some of who people some people that we consider to be greats. So I want to share a little mini interview that I think is fabulous and shows that we're all the same.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Can you hear it? Can you see it?
No.
Oh,
So
shoot. Oh, do you know what? Can you hear it though?
it's very quiet.
Okay, hold on. I w- Okay, hold on. Let's try this one more time. I'm wondering if it's because it's on own, it won't allow me to stream. Hold on, let me just try it one more
Mm,
time. I'm not going to put it. Could you see it before I put it full screen?
I could see it, yeah, before you put it full screen.
Okay, I won't put it full screen as well. We love technology. We really do.
You
I,
gotta learn just to roll with the punches, right?
I mean, what can you do? Things happen. Okay, we can see.
Yeah.
I'll try put up the volume as much as it can, hopefully. There. Okay.
You start the next job, you get on that set, and for a minute you feel like you're just starting all over again. They're going to be found out that you're not as good as people think you are. You have an added responsibility, an added visibility. It's fear. It's something that's deeply human, I think. But yes, it's an affirmation. I always have to I have to remember that little girl growing up in Central Falls. Yes. That makes me feel good for a little while longer.
So what do you think when you hear that, when you see and hear that?
Unbelievable. Well, I think it's so generous of her to Viola Davis to share something like that, because not everybody does. I think more and more, but you know, it's just so very humbling, and it is just so very human to have that. I can deeply relate to that sense of. Bless you. I can deeply relate to that sense of I'll be found out, or it was. You know, it was the wrong choice. I know that you and we've talked about that before, that we've both felt like on different occasions that perhaps we were cast as, you know, I don't even know what fear makes up all these crazy stories, but like I've thought maybe, you know, the person that they wanted said no, or that it was a mistake, or, you know, my agent messed up, you know, all the things fear tells you. How about you?
Oh, absolutely. I can completely relate to that. I relate to, this is what comes up for me with my imposter syndrome. I'm like, wait, if I get the role that I really want to have, that means they're going to know that I'm not great. Like, I'm like, so do I really want this role? Or do I really want to be an actor? Or do I really want to be a lead on a show, or all these things? And I'm like, if I do, that means I'll have to repeatedly show up and repeatedly face my fears. And so sometimes I'm like, maybe I don't want this. Maybe I don't want this. And it has nothing to do with reasons why I wanted to be an actor in the first place, or like what it feels like to actually do acting work. But it's completely separate from that. It's just all this like external stuff that means absolutely nothing. Like, they've hired you because there's something, a part of you that they felt was important to share this character. Of this character.
Right.
And I have to always kind of remember that. And I'm always like, you got hired. When you get hired from any job in your entire life, you don't think like, oh, they didn't really want to hire me. Like, just for me personally. Other people might feel that way about other jobs in their field. But if I'm gonna hired at a restaurant, I'm not like, ooh, they're gonna find me out. Like, no, I don't care. Like, you hired me because I'm great. And so the things that I have confidence around, that imposter syndrome doesn't come up. But definitely with being an actor, it comes up. And I think one of the reasons might be, and this just popped into my head right now, I'm thinking that it may be because we get so much rejection all the time. So we get so many no's, so many no's, so many no's, that we conditioned ourselves to feel as though we're not good enough for anything. So we get a yes, we're just thinking like, oh, did you get that right? I've gotten so many no's that like, are you sure that the yes is the right answer? Because I'm more used to getting a no. Like,
absolutely. And I know some of my actor friends way back when I was in film school would just say like, once you've done the audition, just, you know, throw those sides in a paper shredder or burn them or whatever, and just assume you're never going to hear about it again. So there is kind of there is a culture around kind of protecting yourself from that heartbreak and making the assumption around you're always going to get a no. So yes, of course, when you do get a yes, it's, you know, such a big surprise.
Well, it's a surprise, and you just think that they got it wrong.
Yeah, Me or that person? You know
Are
what
you
I mean?
sure? Like, there's someone that always gets the roles, and that's not me. So I would like to also go and focus a little bit and just read a little article about the imposter syndrome. So Backstage Magazine is an online magazine that's really dedicated for entertainers, talent, actors, theater actors, etc. And so I came across an article called "5 Ways to Conquer Imposter Syndrome." It's by Robert Peter Paul is the name of the author. And I'm just going to read it to you. So,
Sure.
congratulations, you booked a dream job. You'll be working alongside top talent, doing what you love the most. But are you actually good enough? A voice croaks from the gutter of your mind. Yes, you earn the part over hundreds, maybe thousands of other actors. This is your time to shine. You fooled them in the audition, the voice bellows. But once you get on set, they'll all see the truth. Meet the imposter syndrome monster. Psychology Today defines imposter syndrome as a psychological phenomenon in which people are unable to internalize their accomplishments. It's essentially a pattern of behavior where someone doubts their accomplishments and persistently fears they'll be exposed as a fraud. Unfortunately, we all suffer from this sludge of self-doubt and at some point. Award-winning actors aren't even exempt. I go through acute imposter syndrome with every role, says Lupita Nyong'o, told Time Out. I think winning an Oscar may in fact have made it worse. At the end of the day, we can't let those thoughts swallow us whole. We must take control and slay imposter syndrome so our career doesn't tailspin. How do we do that? Here are 5 ways to rein in the imposter syndrome monster and hopefully destroy it indefinitely. 1, take out the trash. When self-doubt, self-sabotage bubbles up in the brain, drag it out. Lasso those rude quips and throw them into the real world. Just in case these metaphors aren't coming across, I am saying talk to someone. Unload your fears out loud to someone you trust. It's not only brave, but incredibly liberating. 2, rewrite your mental script. Retrain your mind to enjoy the opportunity you've been given. For example, instead of thinking they're going to find out I have no idea what I'm doing and fire me, think to yourself, everyone gets first stage jitters. I might not know everything, but I can learn, and they chose me for a reason. Oh my God, that makes me want to cry. 3, unearth failure. If you can't turn off the mean voice in your head that projects failure, why not change the way you respond to failure? Oprah doesn't believe in failure. It's just failure if you it's not failure if you enjoyed the process. Throw the idea of success out the window for a moment and discover the real meaning of failure, a stepping stone to greatness. 4, show yourself. Haven't we all learned to show, not tell? Look up any highly lauded person in society, and I guarantee you'll find an interview where they discuss visualizing their victories. It can be hard, but instead of falling into the rabbit hole of nerves, turn right and run down the path of seeing your bright future. Focus on the positive and don't look back. Lastly, trick the brain. When all else fails, fake it till you make it. Don't wait for confidence to drive over. Confidence builds when we take risks. Change your behavior first, and your mind will follow.
There's so much goodness in that. I love that. And yeah, absolutely. There are conventions, I don't know if you've heard, but where people are now meeting, and they're called failure conventions, and people, top CEOs and business people meet and talk about their biggest failures and what they learned from it. So there's always something positive as well in every. Yeah.
So, and is there anything else that popped out of that article that you resonated with, or you?
Well, yeah, I mean, fake it until you make it. I do appreciate that statement, but I think that with the support of doing, some deeper inner work, as well as faking it until you make it and getting out there and practicing those behaviors. So doing something like hypnotherapy, using visualization prior will make it just a whole lot easier when you get into the room or when you get on set, and you're less likely to fall back into those old stories and those old fears. Yeah, and another thing that I do, which is pretty fun, when I'm working with actors, I'll have them go through the process of, and I think we've probably done this together too, is going through the process of doing the audition and then just imagining that something happens that is completely out of context. Perhaps it's a technical issue, perhaps it's the reader not looking in your eyes or having any inflection in their voice or whatever it is, and just imagining that as a deepener in order to just get even more into character and complete your objective. So yeah, there's so much that can be done with visualization that will help support you kind of get out of that imposter syndrome story.
In the article, so the part I think it was where I was like, oh my God, it's gonna make me cry, is where it says everyone gets first day jitters. And I'm like, yeah, wait, I'm allowed to be nervous on the first day of set, or like, this is the first time meeting a whole bunch of people, like having a camera in your face, being lit, like it all being about you, having, it's a lot of money's on the line. So absolutely, it's completely valid and normal to be a little bit nervous about walking on set for the first time, especially if it's not your own show that you work on every single day. So I loved hearing that. And I love also the reminder that I might not know everything, but I can learn, and they chose me for a reason. And I think that I have to kind of keep being reminded of that. They chose me, or they chose you for a reason. And that I think is really beautiful, because we get, as we said, we get so many no's that, you know what, when we get a yes, they chose you for a reason. And how about really be proud of that, or feel honored by that, or allow yourself to shine in that, because there's something that they saw in you that they wanted to share with the world. So I thought it was really beautiful how they mentioned that in the article.
That is beautiful. And my hypnotherapist, she was mentioning something that was very similar to that, is that when you have doubts about yourself or your abilities and you've been hired, you're also devaluing somebody else's opinion. So when you let that go and you just trust that, yes, they wanted you, they saw something in you, and they also have something in them that is, and perhaps it was a taste choice or it was an intuitive choice, it doesn't matter, but you're lifting everybody up when you just go with the flow.
And when you say that, it actually also reminds me of, I can't remember who shared this with me or where I read it, but they were saying, like, a lot of people, if they receive a gift, or, you give a gift to someone and they're like, they don't like it, you would never feel good as a gift giver when someone's like, oh, like, that's not great. But it's kind of like with compliments, or with people saying like, oh my God, you're amazing. And like, oh my God, you did such a great job. And you're like, oh my God, no, I didn't. Did you see the time when like I messed up and like I lost my line, and like, oh my God, I look terrible today. Like, I'm not, and you completely overshadow the gift that they're giving by a compliment of some sort, or a recognition of what they saw was great. And so, to relate with what you said, like, who are we to diminish somebody's view, taste level, opinions? They saw something, and that's kind of a gift that they're giving to you. So wouldn't it be nice just to accept that gift so that they can feel good about the choice they made as well?
Absolutely.
Right? Because if I'm like, oh my God, you shouldn't have picked me, they'll be like, oh my God, like what's wrong with my taste, my choice? Like, make them feel bad for picking you? Come on. No, we can't do that anymore.
Yeah, exactly. It serves no one.
Nobody.
Yeah.
So, we've been talking about it a little bit, but if you could maybe just give me some imposter syndrome, inner mind chatter that maybe you go through, or maybe the collective consciousness goes through, all of our actor friends, just so I can have a few of those, and I might try to weave them into the process that I'm going to walk you through.
All right. So some beliefs that we want to toss out and throw them on the cutting room floor.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I really truly believe that everybody has the ability to tap into talent. And that creative or whatever you want to call it. Some people even call it, a gift, or some people call it like an ethereal quality or a godlike quality when it comes to creativity. But I really want to throw on the cutting room floor that some people have it and some people don't. Because I do think that, what is the most supportive thing is just having that passion and that drive and that tenacity and the interest that will take you further. So, yeah, I want to throw away that some people have it and some people don't. Some people
And
have
when
to
you
work.
say, what's it? What is it?
The it factor, and I know that's a big part of your program. So that'll be cool. See how you can speak to that. But I think that, of course, some people are naturally, for instance, here's an I'll just use an story of my own life. I used to work as a waitress for many, many years, and I am still quite a shy person. But back when I was a waitress and I was in my early 20s, I was pretty shy and had a very, very, like, I have a soft voice now. I had a very, very girlish, very soft voice back then. And, some of my colleagues would say, oh, like, so what do you do outside of serving? Like, what's your passion? And I would say, oh, well, actually, I'm really passionate about acting. And I would have people say, oh, you? Like, I would never have assumed that you were an actor. You're so just like shy and quiet. So, stuff like that. And yes, absolutely. I had to work really, really hard to develop and be able to project and whatnot. But I think that regardless of story of that person has it and that person doesn't, I don't want to believe that anymore.
That's great not to kind of get rid of that one. Is there anything else that maybe the collective might experience?
One thing that I do see with some of my actor clients is the scarcity factor around what is available. And I think that there needs to be kind of a level of trust that there will be more roles there, and trusting that the part that is right for you will come. And just dispelling that misconception of that there's not enough to go around, because there are ways that we can actually take part in making more projects that we are interested in. There's so much that you can do. So that's a common belief that I see, that some people just feel really slighted that they don't have the opportunity. You know what I
One
mean?
thing along that, which I understand why, but I think that it's actually counterproductive to being in alignment with the roles and that you want. So that's kind of like another completely other conversation. But a lot of people don't want to share the auditions that they have, or they don't want people to know, oh, I don't want you to audition for it as well, because like if you got it, like I'd be really upset that like I shared with you this opportunity, like. And I come from the belief of kind of what you've already just said, is that if it's meant for me, it'll be
Mhm.
mine. And if it's meant for someone else, it's going to be meant for them. And
Mhm.
so there's been times where I've seen an acting breakdown and I know somebody that's meant for, and I could be auditioning for it, but I still share it with the person that I think that it's meant for. And more than one occasion, that person did get that job. And
Mhm.
so I don't think that them getting that job takes away from me getting opportunities and work. I think that it actually also creates you being in the energy and the vibration of other people that are working, and you want to be in that energy, not in that like, "Ugh, I don't want you to know about a job because I don't want you to be working if I'm not working." And
Yeah.
so I do find that the scarcity and thinking that if you share any opportunity that you're going to lose out if you tell your friend about something going on. So I 100% agree that scarcity
Yeah.
is a real trouble spot in this industry because it feels like there's only a few good roles that
Mhm.
people don't have an abundance mindset around acting roles and work and
Mhm.
jobs.
Right.
So let's get rid of
Yeah.
it.
Let's get rid of it. And I think it's about, I love what you said about just being in the energy of the abundance and taking part in being of service to helping the story in the way of finding the perfect person or the perfect energy for that role. I feel that is more supportive in the long run.
Absolutely. And just a story that I've probably told you before, but I'll briefly say it now is that when I moved back to Toronto, I was auditioned for this TV show and they're looking for someone that was 5'6" and shorter and visibly diverse. And I read the sides. It was for a pilot and it wasn't really me, but it would be a really great role to get. So it was for a lead. And so then I went to visit my friend who's working at a bar 1 day a week, still works as an actress, but like for a lot of the times, but still like wants to keep bringing that $400 there cash every week. And so I was visiting her at the bar that she was working at, told her about the audition that I just had or I was going to, one of the two. And that was that. And then the following week, I went to visit her again, and she was like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Like, they opened up the breakdown. They're not looking for anybody visibly diverse necessarily anymore, and the height restriction has been lifted." And she's like, I'm going in for that role. I'm so sorry. Like, she was so sorry that she was going in for this role. I'm like, I don't have any ownership over this role. I just auditioned for it. Like, if it's meant for me, it was meant for me. If it's meant for you, it is meant for you. And you know what? It was meant for her because she had a callback, then a second callback, and then she had a screen test, and then she was the lead for 5 years on a TV series. And so, she was already like, "Oh my God, I feel bad. Like, I'm taking away this opportunity for you." I knew that it wasn't meant for me. And
Mhm.
I also knew that if it was meant for her, I would want her to have that.
Mhm.
I wouldn't want her to not audition for that role for my feelings when it was an opportunity that was meant for her. So
Right.
that was kind of a real lesson of like seeing that scarcity and also then seeing when something's meant for you, it finds its way to you.
Exactly. Yeah. So just kind of trusting the process. But it makes me really sad to think that, perhaps she would have been around other actors or other people where who knows, a friendship might have been lost or luckily you were for someone who understood that it was the role that she was right. She was the perfect energy for that. But unfortunately, there's some funky stuff going around. So let's throw that one out.
All right. So scarcity, that some people have it and some people don't. Or is there anything else you want to pull in there before we get started on a process?
Um, I would love to for my own sense of just kind of getting rid of putting others on a pedestal and putting myself automatically down here. I don't feel like it serves any purpose. We all, every single person on this planet has a story to share, and every single person has something to contribute. And I personally do that a lot, and I know where it comes from. I've been doing it, I feel like, since I was like 6 or 7, maybe even younger, and I'm ready to burn that one,
All right, burn it. I
burn
mean,
it.
like we don't need to like you don't need to raise someone up to put yourself down. You know what I mean? Like we can all be at equal playing field. Maybe some people have more knowledge around something or they have more experience around something, but it doesn't mean that they are anywhere above you at all. Absolutely.
We all have something
Um,
to bring to the table.
all right. Well, we'll see what happens then. We will do a little process. Are you ready?
Yes. Should I put
Call the-
myself on mute?
Yes, please. I think that would be good.
Okay.
Put yourself on mute. Get comfortable if you're not already. Let's make sure like my computer works perfect. All right, so it's time for you to relax. Time for you to just shift, feel, and grow. So just get comfortable, and we're going to start with your eyes open. So I just want you to take a look around at your surroundings. Take note of your surroundings. Just feel the texture of the chair that you're sitting on. You feel the temperature of the room. Notice your breath going in through your nose and out through your mouth. And as you're noticing your breath in the moment, I'm going to ask you to close your eyes. And when your eyes are closed, I just want you to imagine a wave of relaxation starting from the top of your head, flowing all the way down through your body to the tip of your toes. And just listening to my voice. And as your eyes are closing, it feels so wonderful to have them closed. Feeling that wave of relaxation flood through your body. Just take a notice of your breath. And notice how every time you breathe in, you're breathing in beautiful fresh air. You're breathing in peace, creating space. And notice how each time you breathe out, you feel more relaxed, more released, more grounded. And notice how each and every time you breathe in, you're creating more space, more peace. Very good. And each time you breathe out, let the air take out all the old energy. Just exhale. Exhale all the old tension and stress out of your body. And now I'll count from 5 to 1. And with each number, enabling you to go deeper into this inner place of wisdom, into this place of relaxation. Notice the small muscles around your eyes and just relax them. Relax your jaw, just letting go. Relax the muscles in your neck and your shoulders, dropping your shoulders down and just relax. Relax your arms. Relax your hands and your fingers, feeling grounded. 4. Feeling relaxed, feeling heavy. Heavy like a beautiful sculpture, like a beautiful stone sculpture. 3. Feeling so heavy that if I asked you to move your arms or your legs, you wouldn't even want to. You just continue to let go of any tension in your chest or your stomach or your pelvis, letting everything go. All tension just floating away, releasing the tension in your legs or your feet and your toes, all the muscles relaxing, feeling grounded, feeling heavier and heavier. So heavy now that the beautiful stone sculpture is so heavy that if I asked you to move it, you wouldn't even want to now. Just breathing easily, breathing easily. You're doing very well. So using your imagination in your mind's eye, if you could just picture yourself somewhere in nature. This is a beautiful place in nature where you feel completely safe. Somewhere in nature where you feel happy, relaxed, and peaceful. A beautiful place where you feel safe and calm. And in this beautiful scene in nature, just take a look around. What do you see? What do you hear? Notice the temperature of the air on your skin. Notice how the ground feels beneath you. See all the little details, all the little sounds in the scene, in the nature. And I want you to find somewhere where you can sit or lie down comfortably. Maybe it's under a tree. Maybe it's on a cliff of a mountain. Wherever you decide to get comfortable, it is the perfect place for you. And it makes perfect sense for you and your mind. So just find somewhere where you can sit or lie down comfortably. And this will be your place, your safe place, where you can sit or lie down and reflect, whatever is most comfortable position for you. Now, while you're in this safe place, oh so comfortable, imagine a journal or a notebook appearing before you, along with a pen or a pencil or something for you to write with. And take that journal and this writing utensil in your hand. Notice how they feel. Notice their colors, their textures, their size. Sitting or lying down in this beautiful, comfortable, safe place in nature. And if you could reflect back on a scene in your life where you felt your imposter syndrome. And just for a moment, without any judgment, just reflect on this moment or many moments where you felt your imposter syndrome, this imposter syndrome. And as you're reflecting back on a scene or many scenes where you felt like an imposter, a scene where maybe you felt like you weren't good enough, that you felt that you didn't deserve to be there, where you felt that you did not have the ability to tap into talent, where you felt that some other people had that it factor and some people just don't. Really tap into these scenes where you felt like you were an imposter. Really remind yourself of the time where you felt any scarcity around roles, the feeling of never being hired again, that they might have made a mistake, that this part or role wasn't meant for you. So notice where you are in one of these scenes. Really imagine and envision what is happening, how you are feeling in that moment. Now, I want you to take a page in that journal and write out how you felt in one or all of these former scenes. What you believed about yourself in that scene, how you felt about the work that you were going to be doing. Really take your time and write out in your beautiful notebook all the feelings that you had around yourself when you felt most like an imposter. Again, maybe it's that you felt like you were not enough, that you don't deserve to be there, that you're not capable of faking it. Who are you to be doing this? However you felt, really write it out on this piece of paper in this journal. And you're going to be feeling this way for one final time. This is the final time that you are really going to tap into the feeling that not everybody is able to be talented, that not everyone has that it factor. Any scarcity that you have around roles, thoughts of never being hired again. Really feel these feelings and write them down for the last time. This is the last time you're going to be feeling any of these imposter syndrome thoughts. It's time to move on. I want you to say goodbye to all those old useless feelings. Say goodbye to all those useless thoughts, those thoughts that are not helpful for your growth and success. I want you to take that piece of paper with all those feelings and thoughts of times where you felt the imposter syndrome. And I want you to tear up this piece of paper. Or if it feels better, to burn this piece of paper, or crumple it up into a ball and throw it into the water, or put a beautiful pink heart around this piece of paper and send it up to the light for transmutation. Whatever feels good to say goodbye to the past, to say goodbye to these old feelings of being an imposter, and just see that old paper and all those old feelings completely disappearing, burning. Any flames are just disintegrating all these thoughts and feelings, breaking them up into millions and millions of pieces. However you want to say goodbye, and just imagining it disappearing. Now, while you're still in your mind's eye, imagine yourself still sitting or lying there in your beautiful place in nature, your beautiful, safe place in nature. And now we're going to take the time to activate a new you, or to unearth a you that's always been within you. So firstly, if you could just imagine a red ball of light swirling around the base of your spine. Just imagine this beautiful red ball of light swirling around the base of your spine. And I want you to repeat to yourself, I am grounded. I am grounded. I am supported by Mother Earth. I am supported by Mother Earth. I am deeply rooted. I am connected to my body. I have everything I need. I trust in the good in the world. Very good. Now pulling that ball of energy up into your pelvic area where you see a bright and beautiful orange ball of light swirling and pulsating and radiating energy. And repeat to yourself, I am passionate. I am passionate. And pull that energy into that pelvic area, into the energy around your spine. And repeat internally to yourself, I am a creative being. I attract people who respect me. I am comfortable with my body. I am balanced and creative. My emotions are free and balanced. Very good. So pulling this energy up the spine to your stomach area, where you now feel a bright yellow ball of light swirling, pulsating, vibrating. That bright yellow ball of light expanding. And repeat to yourself, I am confident. I accept myself unconditionally. I make my own decisions. I am responsible. I use my power for good. I honor myself. Beautiful. Very good. Now moving that energy up your spine, right into your heart area, seeing a beautiful green ball of light, sending love all around you. And while you have this green ball of light, I want you to expand this green ball of light so that it encompasses all around you. And you are encapsulated in this beautiful green ball of light emanating from your heart. As you breathe in love, breathing in love, that green light is sending out love around your entire body and emanating it out into the world. And repeating to yourself, I am loving. I am kind and compassionate. I forgive myself and forgive others. I am grateful for all the good things in life. I feel connected with all the good things in life. My heart is full of love. You're doing very well. And allowing this energy to continue moving up your spine into your throat area, where you see a blue light pulsating, a light opening and swirling and moving and expanding around your throat area. Just seeing that blue light dancing around, and repeat to yourself, I am truthful. I am a good communicator. I am full with positive spirit. My voice needs to be heard. I speak with clarity. I speak my truth clearly. Very good. And continuing to move that energy up into your third eye area, where there is a beautiful purple ball of light right in the middle of your mind. Right between your eyebrows, inside your mind, is this beautiful purple ball of light. And this ball of light is swirling and pulsating and radiating. And just repeat to yourself inside your mind, I am wise. Very good. And repeat to yourself, I have a clear inner vision. I love my intuition. My thoughts are clear. I am an amazing decision maker. I am open to higher inspiration. Very good. And starting again from the base of your spine, imagine all the energy pulling up from the base of your pelvis to your stomach, to your heart, to your throat, going all the way up to the top of your head, where you feel this ever present, ever so beautiful, angelic white light radiating down through your body. And while you have this light radiating, it opens up your crown chakra, where you now feel connected to the universe. And repeating inside your mind, I am connected to the universe. The universe supports me. I love in oneness. I am true to myself. I am living my divine purpose. Beautiful. And continuing to feel how the white light touches every single cell in your body. And repeat yourself, I am. Good. Just continuing to breathe, feeling your whole body activated, pulsating, radiating. Just breathe into the sense that you are deserving. If you can dream it, you can be it. You are loved. You are enough. You are worthy. Just breathing into this sense of confidence and radiance of self-love, just letting it flow through every single cell in your body, into every single subatomic particle of your being, repeating to yourself, I am enough. I am worthy. I am deserving. I am me. And there's only one of me in this entire universe. And now, still sitting in that beautiful place in nature, I would love for you to dream up a future scene where you are doing amazingly well, when you know that you are enough, a scene where you know that you are deserving. Just imagine yourself in this scene, seeing faces around you. They're smiling and they're genuine, and they look at you, seeing you for who you truly are. They are ambitious, confident, wide, empathetic, curious, excited to learn and grow and discover. Just be in that scene for a moment and notice the clothes that you're wearing. Notice the sounds that you hear. Just take a moment to go about that scene and feel what it's like to be the new you who knows that they're worthy, the new you that books all the roles and loves it, the new you that knows that they deserve to be there on set, working with their idols, the new you who knows who you are. Really imagine what it feels like to be that version of yourself. What does it feel like? What thoughts are you thinking? What food do you want to eat? Really imagine from all angles. And as you get taken back to that place where you're sitting in that beautiful spot in nature, take out a new journal and start writing again with a new writing utensil how the new you really feels. Maybe you need to write down and reseat that I am enough. Writing it down on that beautiful notebook in that beautiful place in nature, that safe place. And write down, I am worthy. And write down, I am deserving. I am love. I am loved. However this new you feels, just write out a note to yourself, a reminder and an intention of how you want to wake up every day. Just breathe into that sensation, that incredible feeling of knowing who you are and that you are capable of anything that you put your mind to, that you are deserving of anything that you can imagine or dream up. Just breathing in and breathing out. It's writing out that full reminder to yourself of how worthy you are, how deserving you are, and how loved you are. Very good. And in a moment, I will begin to count from 5 to 1. This time taking in all these new sensations and feelings and self-knowledge and bringing you back into this physical room around you. So 5, feeling worthy, radiant, confident, curious. 4, beginning to notice your arms and your legs, your fingers and your toes, wiggling them a little bit. 3, remembering that beautiful note that you wrote to yourself. 2, beginning to notice the temperature of the room around you and 1. Opening your eyes, feeling confident, radiant, worthy, deserving, and the deep knowledge that you are enough. Now just take a moment and maybe go find an actual piece of paper and write that reminder of how you feel now and how you can enjoy experiencing the new you. Thank you, Ariel. How are you?
That was incredible. Oh my gosh. So powerful. Holy moly. So much was gleaned for me in that. That was really, really, really beautiful process.
I'm glad you enjoyed it. One thing I love about our sessions is that getting the opportunity to write out new scripts and hypnosis scripts and processes that are going to be really helpful. So thank you for experiencing that one with me.
And I'm so excited for anybody who's watching now or going to be listening on the replay to have that experience, and also really encouraging. I'm so relaxed now. It's like probably night and day. When we started, I was like, ah. Now I'm just like so zen. Can you come with me everywhere I go, please?
Yes, for a fee.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, I will do anything, darling. Yeah, what was I saying? Oh yeah, so anybody who was listening, and if you have the time and you go through this process, please share with us. Let us know what came up for you, and always let us know if you're noticing any changes in your thoughts or in your behaviors, or just things starting to shift. You might even notice people treating you differently, because you're acting a little bit more confident, you're standing a little bit more tall. You're sharing more of yourself, and it's just such a beautiful retroactive experience of planting seeds. Hypnotherapy. So what a beautiful, beautiful gift. Thank you, Chantele.
You're welcome. And is there anything that maybe came up that surprised you that you'd be willing to share, or anything that, was magical that you're willing to share?
Yes. Okay. So this is an interesting story that came up. So yeah, when you're working in these theta states, things come out of nowhere. And this time I had a memory come back of when I was 21 years old, and I had done a workshop with very Emmy award-winning casting director Jackie Lind from Vancouver, and she's amazing. And I remember doing the workshop with her, and she had a wonderful feedback for me. I mean, she's amazing. She's just so keyed in. And one thing that she said to me that always stuck with me was, Ariel, you really got to work on loving yourself. You really got to work on loving yourself, because once you do that, everyone will take note and everybody will love you. And I remember being 21 and being like, I have no freaking clue how to do that. I literally do not know. So it's been a quest to figure out, how does one do that when you don't have those foundations, which so many of us don't. At a young age, or who knows what happened. It doesn't matter. When you're an adult, it's yours to deal with. And I didn't know. So I went on a quest, and I'm sure this quest led me to hypnotherapy. And what came up for me while you were speaking about writing in the journal, and just that I am enough and I am loved. And I just really felt like I truly understood what that would feel like in my body and my core, to be able to project or to communicate that to people, or to myself, obviously first, the most important thing, and just, really share my artistry from a place that of being supported. And also that also comes into play of when you brought in being supported by Mother Earth too. That's also another energy that we can always tune into, that sense of grounding when we're working you know, I call it Pachamama with in shamanic tradition, but like the earth is a very powerful force that we can tune into to project. There's, you know, there's so much. So yeah, I don't know if that story helped or
It's
anything.
amazing. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
we never know how we're going to get the answer or when we're going to get the answer or who's going to be the teacher, or who's going to say what you need to hear in the right moment. So it's really, I think it's really beautiful that you were taken back to a memory that you may not have, you know, figured out yet, but there was some sort of growth and understanding in this moment. So I'm happy that you were able to maybe get some sort of closure or understanding around that. And yeah, you look like you're glowing and you look really happy. So
I
that's
another
great.
class altogether. Thank you so
Well,
much.
that's perfect feeling and energy to be in to step into magic hour. So you were kind of speaking a little bit about shamanic stuff. So I believe that you have some cards, and maybe if you want to pull a card, oops, I will pull a card as well, just to seal in today's session. And you know, we'll see what comes up and what we need to know, what we need to hear, how we need to progress forward in the next week, what energies we need to be considerate of. Whatever comes up is perfect.
Yeah. This is exciting. I've never done this before. You go first.
2 cards kind of came out. Ooh, okay. Okay, so this first card is the 7 of Swords in reversed. So whenever I see reversed cards, I think of blocked energy. Now, upright, this card, look at this guy. He's kind of sneaking away, stealing these swords and the cities behind him. And so usually this is a card of betrayal. And swords are of the mind. So they're thoughts, ideas, thinking stuff. So a betrayal of the thoughts, betrayal of the minds. And so whenever I see things that are in reverse, when we're talking about betrayal of the thoughts or betrayal of the minds, I do feel like the card is showing us that going deep into the subconscious is allowing us to no longer be betrayed by our thoughts, by our ideas, because they're untrue. It's not actually happening. You know, we're not bad at what we do. We're not imposter. The imposter syndrome basically is what this feels like to me, and that using the subconscious mind is an opportunity to overcome these limiting thoughts and beliefs that are preventing us from moving forward. So I think it's a positive card for that, and this kind of coincides with it. So swords, again, those are of the mind, thoughts, things, ideas. And 10s are new beginnings with lessons learned. So you've learned all the lessons from 1 to 9 of the sword suit. And then we get to 10, and it's kind of like we look at it's obviously it's a little bit gruesome, but we see all these swords in someone's back, but that means that that's behind us, right? All these old thoughts, all these old beliefs. So we can put on each one of those swords, you know, the belief that some people have it, some people don't, that I'm not enough, I'm not lovable. All those are swords that are behind us right now as we step and have a new thought patterns, new thoughts and ideas moving forward, because that's the 1 in the 10. It's the new opportunities, the new thoughts and new beliefs, but letting go of the thoughts that we had prior. So I think that they're both really supportive of us releasing all the negative thoughts, beliefs that are not serving, and then stepping forward into our new thought process. So I am loved, I am worthy, I am deserving, I am capable of having the life of my dreams.
Oh my goodness. It's so amazing how they correlate so perfectly with the topic. Thank you so much. You are a pro. Okay, so let me give this a whirl. Okay, this one's coming up. So these are a little bit different style of card. These are the Earth Warrior Oracle deck. So they are very much shamanic based with all kinds of diverse traditions from around the world. And today we got Padma Sundari. So out of darkness, light is born. So it's such a art. So let me just, because I don't know them off the top of my head, but I'll read a small. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, well, what that reminds me of, and it might be similar or not, but while you find the little write up, that reminds me of the star card in traditional tarot. So the star card comes after the tower, and that's after all darkness, destruction. It's the light at the end of the tunnel. It's the faith. It's the hope. It's the sense of possibility that yes, you might be in the dark, but you're gonna soon find the light that's going to be the opportunity for something new. So that's what it reminded me of what you said.
Yeah, exactly that. So it's having that faith that out of darkness light is born. So I'll just read the first part. So the light is powerful enough to survive exposure to the darker side of humanity and remain pure, empowered, and effective. Trust in your spiritual purpose as a light in this world. Trust particularly in your ability to bring purity, order, grace, and light to disorder, chaos, and destruction. The divine is ever by your side and ever within your heart, assisting you with this higher purpose in all ways. So I feel like that is very relevant to our conversation today, and also with what is going on in the world generally,
Mhm.
you know?
Absolutely. And if we're looking at it in terms of being an actor or a performer, I did mention that there's only one of you in the entire universe, and so you are that one spark of light. And it is quite magical. Human beings in general, every single one of us has that magic within us that has the ability to bring light into this world. And when we come together, so if you think of candles, like you have one candle, but if you bring many candles together, the light gets bigger. And so I think it also seems to be a reminder that all of us, if we are all light, if we all come together, our light burns stronger and it then can overcome any darkness. So I think
Mhm.
it's a really beautiful message as well.
That is a beautiful message, and that we all have something of value to bring. Each one of us has such a unique experience, and that there is only one. So then that should, if you carry that in your heart, that light, and remember through every audition that you do, every day on set, every writing session, whatever you're doing as an artist and beyond into your life, to every relationship, there's no way you could feel like an imposter because there is only one you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Thanks for the final message there, Ariel. So, is there anything else that you would like to share about the imposter syndrome, how you're feeling right now, before we move on to the rest of our day?
No, I feel just so ready. I feel so excited. I actually do have an audition that I have to get done. And when I received it, I gotta say, I was like, this isn't this role. I was feeling like an imposter. So I'm really, really excited that that we did this, and
Mm,
that I have a fresh new take on this character that I'm going to approach from my own unique perspective, and not try and fit myself into a box of what I think it should be, bringing all of my experience, and all of just my creativity to this, and see what happens. So I'm really excited for that. Thank you.
yeah, use your paintbrush. You're painting it with your Ariel color.
Yeah.
And so yeah, you don't want to paint it somebody else's color, like you paint it your own. So that's really amazing. I know that you're going to do well. I feel like it's one of those times where it's like I didn't think I was going to be that role in the beginning, and then today happened, and then I booked this role. Like that's what's gonna happen. You know what I mean? Like that's how this world and this work works. So I look forward to hearing your process with this particular audition.
I'll definitely
So, do
share.
you have anything that you want to share with the people? I do have your email address going on here. Do you have any workshops or anything that you would like to have people join? Or, anyways, you get what I'm saying.
I just have my intentional actor community going on. There will be an app coming very, very soon, where we'll combine all of the things that we're talking about: career coaching, we'll talk about acting, different techniques through this app, through this program. But in the meantime, I'm always available to work as in partnership with anybody who wants a hypno guide or a coach. Always available. So just feel free to reach out to me through my site. There's a form there, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. And how about you? What are you working on?
Well, on Sunday, I'm going to be starting my 6-week goal setting workshop. And so it's 2 p.m. It's going to be at least an hour and a half, depending on how long the process takes. Sometimes when we're in hypno, it's a little bit lengthier. So it's about an hour and a half each week for 6 weeks, where we're going to be working on different goals. So not necessarily for actors, but there will be some actors that will be participating in this 6-week workshop. And I'm really looking forward to seeing what all of us are able to create in these 6 weeks. I'm going to use it as an opportunity for myself as well to manifest and align with one of my goals as well. So I will be along on this journey with you. I will be doing this workshop with my co-facilitator, which is my friend Sean Presti, who I've been certified in intuitive life coaching with. And then she's also a certified hypnotherapist with Grace Space Hypnosis, like we are. And so it's going to be really a magical opportunity to get used to being really relaxed in these spaces, get used to asking for what you want and moving towards your desires and dream life and all the things that people may tell you that you shouldn't want to have in your life. And so I'm really looking forward to it. So if you want any more information, you can go to this link, and then also I have all my socials inside the description box below. So we'll love to see you. Join us. If you have any questions about it, just hit me up. It would be amazing. And I guess that's a wrap. That's a wrap. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Please follow us both on social media. If you have any questions about anything at all, feel free to ask. If you're looking for a hypno session or some guidance around anything, we are always open to chatting. We love hypnosis. We love coaching. We love acting. So anything in those areas, we are more than welcome to, or more than open to responding and helping you out. So thank you, everybody. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.